All right. You guys are tuned into the Shady Ass Tea right here on hot7025fm.com. It's your girl, fine ass Carrice, and I'm here with my cousin host, Sir. Sir, how you feeling? We can't hear you, though. I mean, it would be nice if we could hear you. That would be, like, pretty amazing.
Can you hear me now? Am I coming in clear?
You coming in clear.
I gotta hold it like this. I gotta be sweet to the microphone tonight.
See, you gotta get your what's Donnie Simpson? Get your Donnie Simpson on, child.
Good evening, everybody.
Your eyes even look green over there, so we're good. We good. That's
because I eat my vegetables.
Come on, vegetables. Okay, come through. Well, listen, as we do each and every Tuesday, we deliver the Shady Ass Tea. Sir, child, what is the tea?
So here's the thing. We're going to follow up on Monique and DL. Am I coming in clear? I feel like I can't hear myself. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so Monique issues a public apology. I want to read the her quote before we show the video, because I feel like sometimes what she's saying is being not heard because of her delivery. But she says, "I'd like to consider myself a woman of honor, so I'm about to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. And when I fuck something up, I gotta fix it up. So I'm gonna take care of that right now before I go any motherfucking further. To D.L. Hughley's family, I want to publicly apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings. I want to publicly apologize to his wife, his babies, if I hurt their feelings, because that was never my goddamn intention." Okay, can we watch the video? And because when I read the apology, I was offended for D.L. Hughley's family. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I want to see how she does this.
And I like to consider myself a woman of honor. So I've got to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. And when I fuck it up, I've got to fix it up. So I'm going to take care of that right now.
Okay.
To D.L. Hughley's family, I want to publicly apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings.
There you go.
Absolutely not.
That's how you feel?
That's exactly how I feel.
Look, so tell me your thoughts.
I think that her apology, honestly, I think the apology was bullshit. Hey, Bula. I think the apology was bullshit. I think that it wasn't even really I apologize for hurting your feelings. I apologize if your feelings were hurt. It's not an apology. Number one. I apologize if your feelings were hurt. Not I apologize for being disrespectful. Not I apologize for even bringing you into the situation because it had nothing to do with you. You know, I apologize for insulting you as a wife, insulting you as another woman. I apologize if your feelings were hurt. It's not an apology. And then you're gonna backdoor that with saying, "Well, everything I said to that nigga, that's exactly what I meant." You just negated your false apology with your qualifying statement. I don't think it's an apology at all, and I think it's bullshit. I'll just be completely honest.
I think that she should not be in the moment when she's trying to deliver information. You know, sometimes you have to write out a script and you have to practice it a couple of times, and then you say, "Hey, this is how I meant to say this." But I think that she's in the moment and she responds emotionally. And I think that she genuinely meant to apologize to the wife and the kid and the daughter. But she was like, "Fuck DL." And I'm here for it.
Why fuck DL though? He didn't even do anything to her.
How do we know? I mean, I listened to him and some things that he said about her. Like, I mean, I would feel some type of way if it was me, no matter what the situation was. he hasn't always been friendly, and she did go back and retro some other conversations that he had on other TV shows and talk shows and radio shows years ago, where he was trying to say things. So I'm just thinking, if it was me, and I know you didn't try to sun me years ago, I got time. I will. I mean, I'm sorry that this happened to. That I slipped up and I said something to your wife and your daughter, because I was in the moment and I was emotional. But fuck you still. Like, seriously, like that's how it went.
I don't know. I think that it rang disingenuous to me, because she's like, oh, protect black women when black women standing up for each other and all of that shit. But she she legit says to this man's black wife that you sucking a coward's dick. She apologized if her feelings were hurt. That's not an apology. If I apologize to you if your feelings were hurt, that's not me apologizing for what I did. An apology should be about what you did.
I think her emotional response and her emotional
that sounds like an excuse,
way of responding. I don't think it's an excuse. I just think that's how she responds to things at times. And I think that she was genuinely apologizing to the wife and the daughter, and fuck DL. I think I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking beside her.
I know, I hear you, but I really, it sounds like an excuse, because if the reverse was true, right? Like, oh well, I'm gonna if he said something shitty about her husband,
he did,
about her, and whatever, and he apologized and
he
said,
even called her husband gay.
She called him gay, and so
no, she said his name is what his name is, and I am on the same page.
I have nothing to say about that particular thing, but And if his apology was that shallow or that hollow, it'd be like, oh well, look, see, there he goes again, disrespecting black women. Oh, there he goes again, not caring about black women. I think it's bullshit. She didn't fucking apologize. she didn't.
So I'm sure she will get on to her Instagram live.
I'm sure she will with her daddy.
And I'm sure she will with her man's, aka daddy. And I'm sure that maybe she'll clear this up, okay? Because maybe her, the way that she delivered it this time was just not the best. All right?
At all.
So
for such a great actress.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so when you plan things out, when you rehearse things over and over again, you're oftentimes you're able to get it right. But when you're in the moment, she's probably not great at being in the moment. Like, you and I could probably freestyle a whole situation, right? We could have some technical difficulties, don't know what the hell we're about to talk about the whole show, and we could freestyle the whole situation and have,
Absolutely.
But maybe she's a person that needs to rehearse through and figure out what the hell is going on. So
that's fine. Well, I wish them both the best. I really do. I like DL. I know you have your opinions about DL, and they differ from mine.
So does this say black women don't care about themselves? This your friend? Who this?
I don't know who Ohini New is. He say black women don't care. Ohini, what does that mean, Ohini? What is Ohini New?
We are keeping it pushing, child.
No, I think black women care about themselves. I do. I just think that this particular situation, I think that she enlisted the concept of protecting black women in the wrong way. I don't think that's what this was about. I think this was about pride and ego, and she started talking about black women.
And I think on both sides it was about pride and ego. I wish both of them would have just try to figure things out, and then understand that the promoter played y'all and is sitting back like, like, seriously, 100%, like at some point we have to address the promoter and how they did shady business with those contracts. So
100%.
We will close the case on Mo. We will see her on live tomorrow morning with Daddy.
We absolutely will see her live. Come on in, sweet babies. So since we're still talking about legendary black women, because I'm not going to take away the fact.
So shout out to Nora Carmen. She said that he's only speaking about black women around him. Period. Point blank.
I'm staying out of the comment section.
We don't know who this is, but hey y'all.
Hey y'all. So since you're still talking about legendary black ones, I'm not going to take away the fact that Monique is who she is, right? But we're going to move on to another legendary black woman, Wendy Williams. Her last show aired, and she was not a part of the final show, which her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, felt like it was a travesty. and it was disrespectful that she wasn't a part of it, I am liking to agree with Kevin Hunter, which I don't find myself agreeing. Yeah, for the first time, I'm agreeing with Kevin Hunter. Like, how this woman was on TV 14 years and has been in the industry for twice that time, and y'all not even gonna have her Zoom in, like do a little Zoom chat and say, thank y'all so much. I love y'all. Have a good, how you doing?
Do you think she declined, or do you think that they didn't invite her?
I think they didn't invite her.
So that's the part of the information that we're missing.
Right. I think they didn't invite her. I really do.
How, Sway?
I think that they didn't like how she was, so she was not real pleased with them talking about they're going to give her show to Sherry Shepherd, right? Like that was some news, like they were going to give her show to Sherry Shepherd, and she came up and said, no, that's my show. Sherry going to have her own show. She ain't going to have the Wendy Williams show, essentially is what she said. And I don't think that they liked that she was still like making comments about what was happening on the Wendy Williams show when she wasn't there. Also, I think she probably cost him quite a bit of money when she got sick, and they feeling some kind of way. And so I don't think that, because I mean I can't think of a single reason why Wendy, who is very sensitive, who loves her show, who took her brand and her business very seriously, would not want to be a part of the last episode of her TV show.
I mean, I think that she could have been like, I declined because I'm going to continue the Wendy Williams show in a different way. So she may have been like, you know what, y'all been on some BS this whole time. I'm good. Like, you're not closing out a show that's my show, and have the privilege of having me there too. It could have gone several different ways. I wish we would know like what the inside is.
Right. And
I'm
maybe
sure
now there is rumors she's going to be doing a podcast. And so
I heard on Sirius.
Yeah, and
I
so
heard
we may hear
offering her like $100 million allegedly.
And so we may hear what happened, and maybe that's what she's doing, is holding off saying what happened in that final episode for her first podcast.
Bulala says Wendy is unpredictable, and they didn't want that on live TV. The show really isn't live. Bulala. They definitely would have had time to edit her out.
I'm saying is
if there was an issue,
they could have at least put her on Microsoft Teams. They could have put her on on a Zoom call, and she said, "How you doing?" one last time, like that. I think that.
But if you don't, if this is my show,
right,
and I'm not ending the show, you're ending the show. I'm not giving you the satisfaction of boosting your last show ratings for me, because I'm gonna pop on there. Yeah, no.
You think that's what? I don't know. I don't think Debnar Mercury? I don't think that they invited her.
I don't know. I wish we knew more. Wendy, call us, girl. 702-551-5261.
Absolutely, Monica. On Microsoft Teams. I do love you. I think Wendy is really dope. I love Wendy. I love what she did with the TV. I love what she did for radio.
I love what she did for black people, not even just women. She was like the first black shock jock. And and I think that she did an excellent job with like crossing that over and bringing that information, and just making it got a little risky, from time to time, but it is what it is.
It 100% did. I'm excited to see what she does next. I know she's a seasoned lady. She kind of be passing out sometimes, and that's okay. So maybe
not passing out, child.
I mean, she's going through a lot, and she's gone through a lot. And so I would be happy to see a Wendy Williams win.
I wish Wells Fargo would give her money.
What?
Wells Fargo is holding her money. They won't let her have access to her money. So it's been an ongoing battle.
Is it because they think she's crazy?
They think, she says that whomever was in charge of her money at Wells Fargo used her American Express to purchase things and to also pay for an attorney to block her from being able to access her own money at Wells Fargo.
Okay.
So she also says that so they've had her accounts frozen. It's probably been a year now.
Damn.
Yeah, so she hasn't been able to access her money, pay her people, pay her bills. Yes, Wells Fargo. You know how they do black people at Wells Fargo?
They do. Listen, they do people at Wells Fargo.
They do black people worse at Wells Fargo though. Wells Fargo is under the scope right now for not approving home loans for black people.
Yeah, they ain't approving shit for the black people at Wells Fargo. I don't know nobody with a Wells Fargo nothing but a checking account.
I don't even know anybody with a Wells Fargo checking account, child.
I know one person with the Wells Fargo checking account, and they're not very happy with that
I'm
that
sure.
decision.
I'm sure.
Oh my god. So okay, so here's the thing. So we're talking about bank. You brought up the banking situation. Do you know who Todd and Julie Chrisley are?
Shot? No.
Okay, so Todd and Julie Chrisley have a reality show. It's called Chrisley Knows Best. I watched this show years ago. It's about white people with perfect teeth in the South just being rich. Like they just rich and talking to each other crazy, right? I had no idea what this man did. He just had a bunch of money. He never went to work. The wife never went to work. The son never went to work. They just went shopping and took trips and bought new houses. They have just been charged with 12 counts of tax evasion and bank fraud and wire fraud. Now, I did hear, because when I was watching the show, I did Google. I'm like, what do they do for a living? And it never came up. Like, they never did anything for a living. And it always said they were scammers. And allegedly they are. Now,
You think?
I think so. Well, this is alleged. And so Todd Chrisley is saying it's all fake. It's fake. It's fraudulent. He is actually a legitimate businessman. What happened was they fired an assistant. The assistant stole his checkbooks and his tax documents and his social security card, and did all that stuff themselves as him. So they essentially saying his identity got stolen by an assistant. And
that's what happened.
And that's what happened.
Monica said that she thought that he worked in real estate.
He worked in stealing people's houses. Yeah, very that. I did see that. I did see allegedly that he did a lot of that house flipping that was those fraudulent house flipping. So like, here's the thing. If your mom and daddy got arrested or got charged with 12 counts of tax evasion and tax fraud, and you knew that they were stealing the money, right? Like you're positive. You're like, I know my mom and daddy ain't never went to work the whole time I've known them as my mom and daddy. They ain't never ever cashed a check that was theirs. They always cashed somebody else's check. I've never seen an accountant in here doing a W-2, 1099, nothing. Do you testify against your parents?
I don't even know what you're talking about. What parents?
So Todd Chrisley have three children.
I'm saying at that point I don't know these people. Sorry to this man and lady, I don't know them.
I don't know those people.
I don't know anything about their personal affairs. I probably would be a terrible person to put on the stand.
So you're saying you go amnesia, full on amnesia.
I don't know. The thing is that as a child, let's really think about this.
Right.
Have you really seen an accountant? Like you may have seen your parents go to the tax place like at some point in your life. Right. But did you really see an accountant? Have you you know what I mean? I guess you know where they work. You know what I mean? But you don't, unless you went to bring your child to work day.
Definitely went to take your child to work day.
I definitely did that, even when it wasn't bring your child to work day.
Very that heavy on that. Definitely been.
So I mean, I guess if you don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
So if I was their child, I don't even know what they're talking about. I can't believe you guys are accusing my parents of this.
Todd Chrisley said God is going to do what God does and He's going to protect us from the from the slander. He said,
wait, I think I did see their show. I think I did see where they were flipping homes. And is Todd like kind of buff?
No.
Okay, this ain't it.
That's flipping Vegas. They are also accused of being scammers, allegedly.
That I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, allegedly they're scamaholics.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes because they were spending money like crazy, like they just money on top of money. Like to never have gone to work, like to never ever like go into an office and
so even anything. On the show they didn't go to work.
No, he just sat in the house in the kitchen with his wife, ate breakfast, ate lunch. They went to bed. He talked about having sex with his wife a lot, and his son and his daughter went shopping all the time. And so Wesley Wise says a lot of these so-called investors are scammers. 100%. They got scamaholics. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes. They just spoke out. He just said it was a lie. I think that the idea that it was his assistant stealing his identity and is an angry assistant trying to get back at them is a likely story of a scammer.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we have to close the case on that because that sounds a little risky. I mean, hopefully, God will do what God's going to do.
He said God is going to do what God is going to do. He's going to protect us from this. So, since we're talking about scammers and things, not going above board, FINA, we're going to follow. It's a follow-up story for those who've been watching this for a while. We did talk about the trans woman swimmer who had won her her division. Right, she won, got her gold medal. Carrice was not very happy about the young lady winning her meet. There's a video. You got the video?
Yes.
What say you
hold
mean his
on.
division? I mean her division.
I'm trying to figure out which one it was because I only got two.
It was
Got it.
got it? Okay.
Go ahead and talk through it real quick.
Okay, so the video we're watching is from Australia. They were talking about it there, and so FINA has decided to reverse the decision that she won, and they also have changed the regulations on trans women in sports.
But first, today's big news with a groundbreaking decision for women's sport. In the end, sanity prevailed. Reality trumped fantasy, facts beat feelings, and fairness triumphed over a twisted version of inclusion pushed by radical trans activists. FINA, World Swimming's governing body, made the only rational decision possible and restored fairness to the women's competition by imposing bans on transgender athletes. But don't expect facts or logic to sway the biology deniers among the activist class and their enablers in the media. Indeed, it's increasingly difficult to separate the two groups, given how readily many in the media regurgitate the incoherent talking points pushed by activists. The notion that excluding athletes born male but identifying as female is somehow exclusionary is laughable. Those athletes are free to compete, but in the male category. Of course, it's much easier to excel in the women's category, but that is hardly fair to the natural-born girls and women who do not have the same biological advantages as athletes born male, such as muscle mass, lung capacity, and heart size. As Abigail Schreier, author, and she is a fantastic commentator on this, she wrote the groundbreaking book Irreversible Damage, The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters. Well, in 2020, she wrote a piece about the gap between male and female athletes. She wrote, "Consider Alison Felix, a contender for the title of fastest female sprinter in the world, who holds more Olympic medals than even Usain Bolt. Her lifetime best for the 400 metres is 49.26 seconds. Based on 2018 data, nearly 300 high school boys in the US could beat that time."
Okay. So when we talked about it, I did mention that the lady who competed followed the rules, the rules that were there and present at the time. They had to be transitioning for 2 years, had to be competing, and she followed all those rules. I don't disagree with FINA's findings or disagree with their decision not to let trans athletes, because it was what it says, what the rule now says, is that they can compete unless they've been transitioning since before they were 12.
Which is what I said. Which I didn't say 12, but I did say it had to be like a significant amount of years. Listen, I'm here for LGBTQ plus community. Part of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The here for trans people being able to be themselves, live their truth, whatever that is. But in terms of like competing in sports,
Okay.
it was completely unfair. And I thought that way before, because I'm like, she had only been taking the transitional, meds for
Hormones,
2
right.
years.
Right.
Like, and Like that's not long enough, so, for them to compete with other women. So those are my thoughts. My thoughts are risky, but guess they're true.
I don't know if they're true. I think that a lot of women feel that way, and a lot of people in sports feel that way. But I don't know if you're saying, okay, it's okay for you to be a woman in this particular way, but in this way where you're being a woman, you're not really a woman. I feel like it's not. There's not a balance to that. So like, hey, you're a woman here. You can use, and because a lot of times it comes down like what restroom they use and like marriage, right? Like, oh, you're a woman here. You're a woman. We're talking about addressing you as she or her. But when it comes to competing against a biological woman, you're not a woman anymore.
It's not that you're not a woman, because they're not changing the gender. They're just saying that in terms of competing on an athletic platform,
that's what I'm saying.
They're saying in terms of competing on an athletic platform, it doesn't say that they're removing your gender. It's just saying that you still have an advantage because you really haven't been taking these hormone pills or reduction of whatever that might be for whatever time frame. And I think that that's fair. Like, it was completely unfair for her to be able to win against all of those swimmers and only had taken the necessary pills for 2 years. And those are my thoughts. And, I'm right.
I don't think. I mean, you have your right to your opinion. I don't know if you're right. I don't know.
I'm clearly right. They just changed it.
You're not right because they changed it.
I'm definitely right.
You are in line with their decision. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means
I'm always right, sir. And this is another thing Mickey said. She said, I don't know about this particular event, but did y'all see the trans inmate that got all of those women pregnant in prison?
I did. We talked about that too. And so like there's that. So like, do we put trans women in men's prisons? Do we put trans women in women's prisons? And so that if we're going to say that we're respecting who they are, and as they're saying, okay, I'm in the wrong body. This is I didn't choose to be in this body. I'm choosing this. I'm trying to make my insides match my outsides.
Yeah, but you need to try it a little bit longer. It's like it's a reality here. It's not saying that I'm not disregarding you saying that you believe that this is the person that you should be. I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that your hormonal makeup is completely different than mine. So you completely will have an advantage, which is why they're saying like they start taking the hormones at 12 years old, if that's the case, if that's something that even is possible, which I don't think is. You start taking the hormones at 12 years old.
In most countries,
you're competing in college at 18. That's 6 years versus 2 years of taking the medication that's going to reduce, your hormones. So sounds like I'm right. See what I'm saying?
Again, just because someone's in line with your opinion does not mean that they're right. Right?
But I am right because it was changed.
You're not right because it was changed. You're right because you are in line with the decision that was made about this particular event. This women.
Sir, just say it.
I'm not going to say that.
Say it.
I won't. I will not. I won't say it.
The thing is that you're comparing two different things. You're comparing someone saying that this is who they are versus someone's athletic ability being an advantage. It's not the same thing.
What I'm saying is that if we're going to say we're acknowledging these people as who they are, then we're acknowledging people completely. We're not going to. I can't say.
There's no way, sir. There's no way. There's no way. If for 2 years you decided you're going to take some hormone pills and then me and you go compete and do a race down the street. Mm-hmm. Or a wrestling match, like, no, sir, it's not that's not enough, okay? Like, no, that's not gonna be enough for me. You're gonna need a couple of more years on that, and then we could wrestle.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think understanding these two things being separate.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not unclear about what you're saying.
So I'm not negating them being trans. I'm not negating them saying that they want to be identified as a woman. Like that's whatever. That's their choice. That's what they want to do. Or that's their life or whomever they are. Whatever that is, right?
Right.
But the reality is that the likelihood of them being stronger than me and already was a swimmer on the male team, and then goes to compete against the women. Like, it's not like I just said, oh, I'm gonna be a swimmer next in the next 2 years, and I never did this before, and now I'm gonna start taking these hormone, transition pills or whatever. So it's not the same.
So I think my issue with it is that no one is doing that on the opposite side. So like if a woman is transitioning to be male.
Sir, you starting to sound ridiculous now.
I'm not. Because it's
sir.
Not,
if I took some hormonal pills for 2 years, I can now still beat you in wrestling.
No, I don't know. You may whip my ass. Who knows? I may suck at wrestling, which I mean, we know I don't. But all I'm saying is,
sir,
I think
stop it.
I know. I think people are upset because they're getting beat.
I think the people are upset for the way that I said it before when it first happened, is that it's unfair and that they need to be they need to have taken the pills longer. Untrue. I said something before she even competed.
But if she would have lost,
said something.
If she would have lost and kept losing, no one would be like, "Oh, it's fine." They'd be like, "Oh well." Look,
the thing is, it's not only her. Like, let's not let the what they call the filtered media, right? People call it mainstream. Let's not let filtered media only put the blame on this swimmer, because it's not only about this swimmer.
No, I'm not.
This has happened in track. This has happened with U.S. Olympic sports. Like, this has happened. This isn't just the swimmer. So let's not focus on that. This is the reality that these people who are, they identify whatever way they identify, male or female, are competing, and it's a problem. Period.
Okay.
Norcomer says these rules are only to help males going into female sports, not the other way around.
That's all I'm saying. Women mad because they got cooked. That's if women was beating men at this, it wouldn't be. Women
beat men and everything else. I think that we already are up.
We're not gonna do that.
We're up on everything. Literally, we're up on every single thing. So this sports thing is just something that's unfair. Like I said, Mickey says a physical advantage is a physical advantage. Period.
I'm not saying that men don't have a physical advantage against women. That's not what I'm saying.
Wes says regardless of your transition, I think you should only be allowed to compete within your given gender. Well, obviously, that's not the way the world is. But we respect your opinion, Wes.
I don't know. I don't think it would be. I don't think women would have an issue with it if they were winning. If they had if there was an inherent advantage that they had, they wouldn't say shit about it.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. So,
what about other physicalities? Like, anybody else out there getting dragged for certain physicalities that they might have had?
Like what?
Like, I don't know. Look like some furious drivers had some situations going on.
Oh my goodness! I almost forgot. So in Italy. Okay, so imagine you're on your way home from work. It's 5:30. Your boss was an asshole all day. You got a shit. Your kids are home by themselves, and you coming down the highway, and it's some fools sitting crisscross applesauce in the middle of the road. I need y'all to see this video. We're gonna talk about this. Let me see y'all watch this.
So confused.
Okay, so I'll explain what's happened. I'll give you some context to this. Those people that were sitting in the road are from a wind and solar activism group called Last Generation. They are protesting fossil fuels. And so they thought, well, you know, what we should do is sit in the middle of one of the busiest Italian freeways in the world, and stop traffic, because this will show fossil fuels that we mean business. The people on the road were like, okay, we tired of this bullshit. Please get the fuck out of the road. We got to go
have places to go, and you're wasting our fuel.
Right, you're wasting our fuel. If gas is what, $5 here, in euros.
How about $6.25?
Well, here in Texas,
we don't care about Texas right now.
Here in Texas, it's $5. It's $5 for premium gas in Texas. But you know, we have oil here. Wesley, thank you so much for that catch. No, there are not other busy Italian roads in the world. It's one of the. What I meant to say was that one of the busiest roads in the world. It just happens to be in Italy. But yeah, they're standing. Now, my question is there a right way to protest? Because if you're protesting this, right, like you are trying to draw attention to your cause, is inconveniencing other people on the way home the right way to do that, or is there like a correct way to protest environmental change?
Probably, I don't know, oil mills, government, I mean, I would just think that there are other places that they could have done that versus wasting the average Italian, person's gas while they're trying to get home from work. Like it's, this is my thoughts.
All I could think was, you got to go. You coming home from work because you don't shit at work, and you got to shit when you're on your way home. And this motherfucker is sitting in the middle of the freeway,
wasting everyone's time. But did you see how they drug them over to the side? Yes. He's like, listen, get the fuck y'all playing games right now.
Please and thank you. Please, and like, what I think
this guy, this is the most I don't shit at work guy in the whole world. Okay, or school or nothing. I'm waiting till I get home, guy.
Say I shit at work. Fuck that.
He's definitely the one that's waiting till he get home.
I mean, like, listen. Sometimes, I can feel it when I need to wait till I get home, or I can do it at work. I'm like, this is a wait till I get home situation. I need to. This situation is a little too dire. I'm gonna have to get in the shower after this, so I need to. I been had to hurt somebody. I been got vehicular manslaughter dealing with them people in their little Kinko's banner. I'd be mad as shit.
Well, speaking of people who, are making risky decisions and, cutting off freeways and, making, comments about people's wives. I don't know if you heard this new Kevin Gates song.
I've heard a bit of it. Yeah.
Where he talks about smashing Beyonce.
I saw. Okay, so he talked about Beyonce. He talked about he talked very
Ruby Rose or whomever that was,
and it was one more person that he said. Was it? I don't know. I want to say Doja Cat, but I might be making that part up.
My question to everyone that's listening is this: is that if Beyonce was your wife, and this dude made a song and talk about how he was gonna make her, I guess he said something like, he was gonna make her come and quiver or whatever.
Right.
On the song.
On the song.
And he was like, no respect to Jigga, he says, before he says it.
Respectfully, I make her come like she's never come before, essentially is what he said.
I'm gonna let y'all listen to this and y'all tell me your thoughts, because I feel like he still didn't get it even after he said that and got some backlash.
how much flack you've gotten for this Beyonce bar?
Ain't nobody say nothing to me.
I do like how you preface the bar with if you guys are swingers, and in general, that Ruby Rose replied to your.
To be honest, and this with all due respect, that's one of the most beautiful women in the world. Like, I sit in the trap with all the monsters. They say the same thing. Like, all I did is say what everybody think.
That's fair.
You're the most beautiful woman in the world. Like, I would drink your piss. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck?
Beyonce's piss, obviously.
Yeah. Right here in my mouth. What's happening? But I'm just saying, like, you got to think, I speak for the niggas that's incarcerated, that sit there and watch these people on TV and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is what everybody thinking.
This is true. I mean, Beyonce is. We always have talks like.
That's like say if this was right here. This, this is my water bottle or this is my wife. I feel good knowing that everybody in the world want this. What I have, what's mine. Yeah, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm living y'all dreams every night. So, the other people that took it disrespectfully, y'all just scared to say what, y'all scared to be who y'all are, I guess.
By the way,
I don't put that much thought into stuff. I just speak from the heart.
So, sir, picture it, Sicily, 1931. Beyonce's your wife, your jigga. This guy writes a song about making you come and then gets on a podcast and follows up with it by saying that he would drink your wife's piss. What's your thoughts?
My immediate thought is I'd be offended, right? Wildly offended by it, because I wouldn't want anybody talking like that about my wife. Now, when he said that that's what niggas be thinking, it is. It's like he not lying. Like, it's when he said he'll drink her piss. It's plenty of brothers when he said that was like, hey man. You know what I'm saying? Would.
Sign me up.
You know what I'm saying? Sign me up. Is that an option? I didn't realize that wasn't on the menu. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that's what we was doing. So
Albert Murray said nasty. I bet you he'd be standing in the line waiting to slurp that down.
I'm not here to king shame anybody. Okay? At all. Now, I'm not interested in king shaming. And so I think he said what he said, and as you said with Monique, he's speaking from his heart. He was being emotional.
No, he's not responding. His response wasn't emotional. His response was
for
his
him.
Own
It was
logical. That was a logical thought for him. He was saying, "Well, everybody says it. I just said it out loud."
And there's a lot of. Go ahead.
But at some point, do you have respect for other people's wives?
I don't think he felt like he was being disrespectful to Jay-Z's wife. I think he was giving her, to him, he was giving Jay-Z a compliment, like, dog, your wife, I would do anything for your wife. I would, if she asked me, listen, I drink her bath water, whatever she want me to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she wants me to do, I'll do it. And when he now the water bottle analogy, calling your woman your property, blah blah blah, but the idea that you don't want a woman that don't nobody else want is a real thing.
Nora Carmen said it's just a little spicy drink.
Yeah, that's it. It's a little spicy. And if she drink a lot of water,
what says there's no expectations of privacy in public if she's a public figure. It's one thing about being publicly, like open to say something. You can say Beyonce fine. But this man said he was going to make her sit on his face and do something, quiver, whatever. Like, that's a whole nother situation. That's like, saying Beyonce's bad. Versus saying Beyonce go sit on my face and do blah blah blah. So you don't think those are two different things?
I think that he said again what a lot of men are thinking, and I do. He didn't. I don't think he said anything that nobody else has ever said to their partners when they talking. They was like, man, what you think about, man? I let Beyonce piss on me. You know what I'm saying? She's so fine, and so it's. Though it may be vulgar, it may be graphic.
Indeed.
But I think that Jay-Z, being an artist, understands that especially coming from Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates doesn't isn't like conscious rap all the time. Some of this shit is like you said, he in the hood with the monsters.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like Kevin is going through some things right now.
he,
You know,
I
he allegedly
believe
broke
he
up
is.
with his wife. He out here
Oh, sad
trolling
day.
the whole internet, child.
Sad.
And he got his hoochie daddy shorts on. I ain't mad at the hoochie daddy shorts, child, with no draws. But that's just me.
No, we're not gonna do any hoochie daddy short slander.
No, I'm here for. I'm here for the hoochie daddy shorts, and I'm here for his hoochie daddy shorts too, because he don't be wearing no draws.
Okay, so you don't think that's disrespectful to the woman he with to say he ain't got no drawers on? Because that means that
Do you know
implies
how
you're
many
looking at his
men I
dick.
know don't wear draws?
That ain't, but I mean, but the
If I
implication
was a
is that
man,
you're
I
looking
don't
at
even
his
know how
dick.
you could wear draws.
But do you
Seem like
hear
his
what
stuff
you're
would be
saying?
sticking. Huh?
You hear what you're saying? You can say that you're looking at this man's dick. 'Cause that's essentially what you just said.
I didn't say I wanted him to put it in my mouth and make it do what it do.
But you was thinking. Did you hear the voice? Did you hear the voice in the background say? But you were thinking it.
The studio groupies ain't shit around here these days.
The
I swear
studio,
to goodness.
you know, the truth will always be told. Okay, and so you can say I'm here for the hoochie daddy shorts.
But I can say it privately.
Noir Carmen just said she here for the hoochie daddy. I'll fuck. So y'all two ladies said what y'all said. But Kevin can't say this in my mouth.
Color 702-551-5261. I gave you the regular phone number.
Please, she been drinking water. She eat good. She a vegan. That piss gonna taste like grapes. Okay.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. You know, everybody needs some love. Everybody,
Right.
you know, needs to get over some things and that. But
Right.
I probably wouldn't have said it. But, you know, he
Listen.
clearly has no, like, he doesn't have any regrets. He said what he said, and that was what it was.
What he said.
What do you think Jay-Z said?
Honestly, I think Jay-Z probably laughed. I do. I think they've been through enough as a unit, and I think that he understands Kevin Gates as an artist and as a human being, and like that's who that man is. If it was somebody who was like, he's not pretending to be somebody else. This is who Kevin Gates is. You know, he's just saying, like, I'm just saying what I said. I don't know what I said. What, like, it's like when Boosie say something, I'm not finna be like, oh well, like Will Smith laughed. No, I don't think it was like Will Smith laughed, Wes. I think it was more like this nigga crazy.
And I think I agree with you on that. That's probably exactly what his response was. But since we are talking about responses, I don't know if y'all have been on the internet or not, but it's some things going on. Listen, Diddy was on Carrice Please last week, and
Please.
listen, and I'm here. Listen, I'm here for the show. I'm really trying to understand her language. Like I'm trying to process through understanding what she says sometimes.
like
And
the way
how
she
she
talk.
puts it together, like the verbs and the adjectives and the nouns.
I like the way Carisha talk.
But I'm not mad at her. The show was it was a good show. I did watch it with Diddy, and you know how she said they go together real bad and all of that. But then he decided that he wanted to follow up. He wanted to do a song and talk about how he was trying to get over what's the old girl Cassie.
Well, yeah.
Cassie been gone, child.
Listen, you ain't never looked back and said, "Damn, I'm still kind of feeling that person."
If it was Cassie, I sure would.
I mean, come on now, and it was Cassie. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no ifs in this situation. It is Cassie. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
If it was Cassie, I sure would.
And didn't she just have a baby a couple years ago, like a year and a half?
Two.
2 years?
She is married with 2 children.
Hey,
She is not fooling with him. Okay, she done married the trainer child that was training her when she was with Diddy. And he fine, and his last name is Fine. Okay, shout out to Alex Fine because he has some words for Diddy child. What he said to Diddy was after he posted a song that was called "Gotta Move On" in a reference that it was about Cassie. Cassie's husband had some words, and he posted this post. and the trolling was trolling, okay, this day, because what this man said was, he said, happy Pride to all the LGBTQ plus friends. He said attaches a charity that helps people who are in the closet and gotta move on, along with other resources, okay. And then he posted a picture of the balloons that say love, which we all know that Diddy changed his name to Love. And I think Alex had time today. What's your thoughts?
listen. See, this is a situation where a man isn't like Jay-Z and can laugh it off, right? He wasn't feeling it. He felt disrespected, so he came back. It made a statement. I think both responses are natural and both responses are correct. I do. I listen. I think that he said what he said. He probably knows things about Diddy that we don't know.
Right. That's what I said. I was like, ooh, child, not the in the closet, in the resources.
Right.
My man posted the resource link and everything, child. He said,
Right.
listen, this is what I'm going to do for those of you who are in trouble and in the closet.
Gotta move on. So yeah, I mean, listen, if he's really his wife got 2 kids, they newly married, you know, they ain't been married 5 or 10 years, so he's like, this is brand new to me, and then
I
her
think
ex is
they've
Diddy.
probably been married for about 4 or 5 years now. Like, this
That's
is
not-
old. Like, why is he even bringing up Cassie?
Because he can.
Because he thinks he can. Okay, we know
Well,
Diddy
he
thinks that he
can.
could
He
probably.
did.
He thinks that he probably can get Cassie back, but I'm sure Cassie is long gone past that.
I don't know if he thinks he can get her back. I think sometimes.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
he for
like-
sure thinks he can get her back.
I think sometimes just so you know, just so you know.
Because why would you post it just so you know, unless you're saying, hey, if it's a chance.
Well, maybe
I'm
she.
still here.
Listen, we don't know if she texted him a hey or what you doing. or
Hell
you up.
no, she didn't.
You don't
She
know
was
that she
finished-
was fucking
nah,
her
she was-
trainer.
Listen, that was after this dude had been having several affairs. Like, one of the ladies he was having an affair with, they were talking about her last week. She did a whole freaking post talking about the affair that she had and apologized to Cassie for having the affair with him while they were together.
Do you apologize for the woman you were sleeping with her husband or her boyfriend? Do you?
She did.
If you're the other woman, do you say I'm sorry? Do you come woman to woman and say, you know, I want to say to you that I apologize for sitting on your husband's dick. I'm sorry.
All the time, and going
All the
on
time.
dates and trips with him,
And
and
trips,
and the
right.
Birkins that he purchased to me.
Right. Do you return the Birkins? Like, what
Hell
do you do?
no, we're definitely not returning the Birkins. Okay, let's say
Okay.
Diddy's married. He comes to me. He wants to have an
Okay.
affair.
Okay. Let's say.
I'm not a cheater. You know, I like to have open dialogue and over conversations about relationships
Right.
and indulge in them, you know,
Right.
in publicly.
Okay.
Okay, but if you want to have a secret relationship, Diddy, and buy me some Birkins and a
Certainly
couple of
not.
condos and some Bentleys.
A couple of condos.
I'm not
and some
saying what
Bentleys.
I'm saying, but I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
What
But
would
did
you
he say
do?
not? Did he say he not a cheater?
Beyonce came to you and said, "Hey, sir, you know, I want to have this affair with you, and I'm gonna take care of you. You know, give you a couple of houses, couple of Bentleys, some Birkins,
A couple Birkins. You know,
a
I'm gonna take
couple
the Birkins.
Birkins.
Right.
Yes. So what is your answer? You just have to keep this on the low for a while.
Can I come to the brunch? Can I come to the
No, you can't come to the brunch because Jay-Z is gonna be there.
I can't come to the brunch.
It's his brunch. No.
It's his brunch. I can't.
You
come
know
to
your
the brunch.
lane. You know your space, sir. You
Do
know
I-
your
can I
space. Do you do
Do
it
I,
or not?
Do I
Come
get
on.
tickets to the Beyonce concert?
Not the ones that Jay-Z go be at. And if you are, you got your own section. I'm not gonna see you that whole night.
Can I bring? Do I have to exclusively date you? I gotta figure. I gotta know some details.
No, don't ask, don't tell. You're mine. Which is, I think that's how this relationship went with the girl who was cheating.
So I can't sleep with nobody else, but you sleep with whoever.
This is
whoever the hell
Beyonce.
You want to.
This is Beyonce. Let's talk about this.
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, when
you got 4 condo, you got 2 houses, 2 high-rise condos, some Rolls Royces, couple of Birkins, lots of money in your pocket. You doing it or not, sir?
I'm doing it.
Exactly. And on that note, it is time to wrap up the Shady Ass Tea. Sir, where can the people find you on social media?
Man, y'all find me on IG, sir, at the Sir Armstrong, and on Facebook. But listen, I'm actually a really good person. I don't be cheating. But
Wes said he'll be Beyonce's side piece for free, child.
I'm not doing nothing. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. I'll be a great side piece. Okay.
Listen, you can follow me on each and every social media platform at eCarrice. That's ECARRICE. Listen, those of you who are listening live, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, if you're on Twitter, click that share button. Tell your friends about us. Don't forget, you can catch us each and every Tuesday right here on hot7025fm.com. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, 7 Central. Sir, you got anything to say to the people before we get out of here?
I just want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for each and every Tuesday y'all spending with us.
Hey.
See y'all next Tuesday.
Let's go. Don't forget sponsorships. You can hit us up. And that's Shady Ass Tea at hot7025fm.com. Bye, y'all.
Bye.